Chicago, everybody. College hoops on FS1. It's the Big East. DePaul trying to snap a two-game losing streak in Marquette, up to number 16 in the country, playing for the first time in a week. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the South Loop with Laval Jordan. Jeff Levering with you. Thanks for being with us today. Expecting a packed house today. And when you look at the conference, Laval, we're halfway through, and Marquette might be the surprise of the conference at the moment.
It's a key game today, Jeff, for both teams to start the second half of Big East play well. You look at Marquette, they're right there in contention for a Big East title and chasing that. They want to get off to a good start. And for DePaul, right, they're getting healthier. They have Caleb Murphy back. They've been on the road and struggled the last two, but they've been pretty good at home. So to start with some momentum here for the second half of Big East play.
Take a look at our starting lineups. They are brought to you by Jeep. There is only one, and when you look at consistency, Marquette has been the model of consistency. They've had one starting lineup all season long.
Yeah, and as a coach, I can't tell you how key that is, Jeff. There have been a chemistry and a connectivity that's been able to be built. The roles are clearly defined because that same group's been together. For Coach Stubblefield, it's been sometimes this, sometimes that. That's a lot harder to do. Guys going in and out of the lineup, changing roles. And so he's looking for consistency and continuity here now that they're a little more healthy.
We are ready to tip it off from Wintrust Arena, expecting the largest crowd in this arena's history for a DePaul basketball game. Also Iguodaro, Yorane ready to tip it off, and it will be DePaul on Blue Out Day. The team has lost 2 in a row. Last time they were on this floor, upset Xavier.
DePaul runs a spread offense, a lot of pick and roll. Moji Gibson, they'll play through him a ton. Javen Johnson coming off of screens.
Paint touch to Yorane. There's the double from Prosper. They got to get going in the shot clock, and a turnover. It'll be an over and a back. They were 1 second away from a shot clock violation, and exactly what Shaka Smart wanted to do, setting the tempo on defense.
Yeah, you look at Marquette defensively. It's interesting this year, Coach Smart has a really good offensive team, but traditionally it's been his defense, and they turned you over. 16 turnovers a game. There's one coming right at you.
Watch your lips. We okay? Stage manager's got one in the shoulder. I think we're all right. Still got the nice reaction, Laval. Well done.
I can protect myself. I can think fast.
Kolek puts it on the deck, looking for help. Now Prosper on the drive. Out to Stevie Mitchell, open 3, and off the back of the iron. Here comes Gibson and the Blue Demons.
Marquette is switching early here in the pick and roll. So look inside there. That's a good job by Javen Johnson. And important there, Coach Stubblefield, they walked in the walkthrough this morning, emphasized getting the ball inside. They don't do that much. They want to do it more. Eral Penn, Javen Johnson, you saw there with the mismatch. They were expecting to switch and go inside.
One thing that is going to be consistent with their blueprint on how they can try and pull out this upset against Marquette is what they did against Xavier. They're going to have to switch up their defenses a bunch, just try and disrupt the flow. Gibson with the floater, too strong. And it's into the hands of Lomax Prosper.
And that's something that Marquette wanted. They wanted Moji Gibson. That's fantastic. Cam Jones has been, how good has he been in the last 5 games?
The reigning player of the week in the conference, and he has so much acrobatic finishing ability at the rim. All YMCA team for sure. Just finds ways to score.
He's such a good shooter. The thing is, he's 68% inside the arc.
Yorane finishes with the right hand to even it up.
That was a good job there again. DePaul taking advantage of the switch. Big on small inside.
Oh, so Iguodaro, speaking of bigs.
Oh, my goodness.
If he's not the most improved player in this conference, he's right up there with him. Been sensational all season for Marquette.
And he's so unique. Their offense runs through Tyler Kolek and Oso. His ability to handle the ball, drive, and pass. Such a unique player.
They'll give and go with Penn, and now the layup by Yorane. Great vision from Giverwood to find him.
And Coach Stubblefield's doing a good job right now of picking on Tyler Kolek. He has one foul here early. They're switching ball screens, so they're attacking him inside.
Prosper as Mark Aguirre's trying to find his seat. Trying to get into this packed building. Cam Jones nearly turned it over. Whip pass, that one is turned over. Kolek up ahead to Prosper. Finishes at the rim.
And that's what you can't do if you're DePaul. You turnovers for touchdowns. That's something that Marquette, they get 9 steals a game. That's a high number. They're top 20 in the country. DePaul has to take care of the ball without basketball. You don't want live ball turnovers.
Marquette nearly +5 in the turnover department. That's 9th best in the country. Shot clock at 9. Javen Johnson pulls up with a jumper, and his first shot falls.
And that's what he can do, Jeff. He's a tremendous jump shooter. Whether it's catch and shoot off the 3, he can shoot pull-ups off the bounce.
Kolek early in the shot clock with a 3. Not really his game. If they go down, it's a bonus for Shaka Smart.
Building has some energy to it, doesn't it?
Tons. Again, last time DePaul was here, they knocked off Xavier. It's the second top 10 victory for DePaul since 2007.
There they are again, attacking big on small against the switch.
The whistle, it's going to stay with DePaul. Looked like Yorane really pushed off there on the defender. See our first set of subs for Marquette.
A key thing to pay attention to early is the ability to pass out of the post. So Marquette's switching, and then they're double teaming. So Yorane, Eral Penn, Javen Johnson, if they post them, they have to be able to make good decisions if that double team comes fast enough.
Deshaun Nelson has been a revelation for DePaul here recently. He's on the floor for the first time. 6 seconds on the shot clock. On the curl, Gebra Witt ran into Cam Jones. Gibson with a desperation heave and a shot clock violation. Brings us to our first timeout, a 6-6 game in a packed house here at Wintrust Arena.
You see here also the unique ball handling ability, the crossover right to left, and a strong finish there. Oso, oh my. And Kolek, Marquette doing what they do, turning turnovers into baskets.
Big East basketball is sponsored by Jeep. There is only one. Great atmosphere in the building today. 6-6 tie, number 16 Marquette on the road, playing against DePaul and Laval. You want to talk about your keys to the game today, and already behind the 8 ball a little bit is DePaul. They're trying to take care of the basketball.
Yeah, they have to. They'd have to contain Tyler Kolek. He's such a wizard with the basketball in the pick and roll. They'll change defenses. They want it. This Marquette offense is elite, 18 assists a game. They try to break their rhythm. And what they're not doing well right now, they have to take care of it. They have 3 turnovers in their first 7 possessions. They have to take care of the ball. For Marquette, it's keeping DePaul out of transition and then guarding the 3-point line. DePaul shoots 40% from 3 at home, right, only 33% on the road, and they've shown obviously against Xavier they can beat you at home, especially when Mo Gibson and Javen Johnson are knocking it down from 3.
Well, this game has suddenly become really big. Not that it wasn't before, but the fact that Xavier lost to Creighton just moments ago at Creighton. If Marquette comes away with the victory today, they're in first place in the Big East.
Yeah, it was interesting talking to Tyler Kolek at practice last night, and he said, you know, they know they're right there competing for a Big East championship, but they don't want to get ahead of themselves. They didn't finish the season well last year, and they want to just keep it one game at a time and stay focused on the next one this season.
Great backdoor feed to Cam Jones. Iguodaro, the big man, running the point there.
Against that matchup zone, Marquette's still staying with their man-to-man offense, playing through Oso. They'll play through Kolek.
See Caleb Murphy on the floor for the first time for DePaul. So good to have him back. This is his 4th game. Missing the first part of the season with a wrist injury.
Here you see the matchup against the switch. Nice job contesting there by Oso.
His size, such an issue for Javen Johnson. Here's the replay of Oso.
So DePaul now is matching up. They have an area, not a man, and Oso does a fantastic job of reading it and picking them apart. And there you see David Joplin doing what he does. He's a sniper off the bench. If you're going to play that zone, if you're Coach Stubblefield, guys have to emphasize talking, communicating, covering the basket, getting the shooters.
Deshaun Nelson with a chance for an and one. Been a great finisher for DePaul here recently. Had 9 points. First time he'd been held under double figures in a couple of weeks.
And you see Chase Ross there late on the rotation in the pick and roll. That bottom defender has to get over, rotate outside the charge circle, force an extra pass or be willing to take the charge. Chase was a little late on that one. And Deshaun Nelson has been a key piece to this DePaul offense. Like 6 games in double figures up until Georgetown. You know, he had 6 games in a row, double figures. The big shot against Xavier, the big finish to get the go-ahead basket to win that one.
Joplin looking for some help. Some interesting offensive lineup that Marquette has on the floor right now. Stevie Mitchell. Now to Kolek. Kolek feeds to Ben Gold. The freshman from New Zealand, a chance for a three-point play.
And it's got to be a luxury for Coach Smart to have the depth that he has. And this is what makes Marquette good. Watch the ball movement, right, on 2 feet, under control. A first drive, a second drive, they re-space. And then you have a guy like Tyler Kolek. If you're playing with him, you have to have your hands ready. Ben Gold's a talented young player. He's got size, he has skills, he can pick and pop, shoot the 3. They're excited about his future.
Gibson just put the brakes on Ben Gold but missed the 3. Here comes Omax Prosper. Ross back on the bench. Prosper back in there.
Ball just doesn't stop. The bodies don't stop moving. The ball doesn't stop moving.
Kolek left hand, little baby hook over Nelson.
That was old school. A little running sky hook with the left. And Kolek has that ability. He doesn't force action to score, but he can score points.
Murphy had it tipped by Kolek. And now Joplin commits the foul on Nelson.
And I like what Coach Stubblefield is doing here. Going inside, attacking. They've thrown it in there against the mismatches, against the Marquette switching defenses. Right, they're getting the ball in there. They gave up a ton of free throws last game at Georgetown.
41 free throw attempts from Georgetown. That was the difference in the game.
It wasn't. When I talked to Coach at shoot-around today, he talked about getting themselves to the foul line, and he talked about this guy getting back in rhythm. He only had 7 points at Georgetown the other night. They need Javen Johnson to beat anybody, right? Let alone Marquette.
Mitchell open 3 in the corner. And Yorine comes away the loose ball up ahead. Murphy, they've got numbers if they go. Caleb Murphy on the reverse.
How good is it to have Caleb Murphy back on the floor if you're a DePaul fan?
Such a difference maker. High off the window. Kolek finishes.
Buckle up, Jeff. These two, DePaul's ready. There's energy in the building. Marquette, obviously they know how big this was. They talked about losing here last year and getting a little bit of revenge in this one.
This has not been an easy place. Chicagoland area for Marquette to come in and win. Nelson running out of time, fades away. Kolek has the rebound.
Good defense there by David Joplin, keeping his chest and feet moving.
66 career games for Marquette's program here in Chicago. They're 34-32 against DePaul in Chicagoland. And Prosper walked with a good defense from DePaul to force a turnover. The first for the Golden Eagles.
I'll tell you, just early on in this one, DePaul has the outside of turning the basketball over too much. They're attacking inside. They're attacking in the paint. Defensively, they're active. This Marquette offense is hard to contain, but they're being as disruptive as they can. They have their ladder on the right wall to go about getting this done today.
The thing, Laval, too, about having Caleb Murphy back in there, it allows him to run the point, and Mo Gibson can slide over to the #2 spot where he is so much more effective.
Yeah, and Caleb talked about that earlier. I said, hey, what do you bring to this team? You've been watching. You see Zion Cruz there, the talented freshman. And I said, Caleb, what do you bring? You've been watching like a coach. He said, I can add, coach, getting us out in transition.
Oh, little pass from Kolick.
I have my hands ready because Kolick might hit me with one for a dime. He's unbelievable with his ability, his vision, and his ability to deliver.
Yeah, don't take your eyes off the basketball when it's in Kolick's hands. New era of Jason Williams. Murphy rises up and knocks down the jumper.
And that's what Murphy's a pull-up jump shooter, downhill player. Right, he has to use his athleticism and size to defend. Tyler almost threw that one to me.
Rare turnover for Kolick. Don't look now.
Tyler Kolick containing him, easier said than done. Look at the vision and delivery, the dime by the best passing point guard in the Big East.
Three-point lead for Marquette, who's shooting nearly 70% so far from the floor. Don't forget tonight, primetime hoops are on Fox. The battle in Who's Your Country? Ohio State takes on Trace Jackson Davis in Indiana. It all tips off tonight at 9 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Laval, put your coaching hat on now. It's early, 11-17 to go, and Marquette getting whatever they want at the rim. Just 1 for 5 from 3, but they're doing what they want offensively.
And that's, when you're up against Marquette, especially this team this year. They're analytics, I got into analytics a little bit as a coach. For those they're an analytics dream. They're 17th, right, ranked 17th at rim rate. And then from 3, they're pretty good. They don't shoot a lot of mid-range pull-up jumpers. You see a runner here or there from Cam Jones or Tyler Kolick. But it is, rhythm threes and layups and dunks.
High percentage.
Yeah, high percentage shots, and they're 8 for 8 right now from 2. You see Coach Stubblefield and his staff any adjustments to try to force them to take tough twos.
Gebrowitz got the big man on him. Tries to use the speed and also altered the shot. Another turnover and a foul in transition on Zion Cruz.
It's just a little too much from Philmon Gebrowitz. He's a solid program guy. He's been around. He knows both sides of the ball. But when he's best when he keeps it simple. 1 or 2 dribbles, moves the ball. Xavier, I thought, was a great game for him. Kept it simple, straight line to the basket, and put it in a pass.
Kolick lost it on the way up. Thought he may have been interfered with on his way to the basket. Instead, another turnover. That's the 3rd for Marquette. 2nd for Kolick. Gibson checks back in. There's Gebrowitz, who had 8 points and 4 rebounds in the loss against Georgetown. He's become a starter here over the course of the middle part of the season. Very good defender.
Switched. Bothering DePaul. They can move the ball ahead and look inside. They'll have an advantage. You got Cam Jones on your name.
Gebrowitz had to have a quick release, and Ane able to keep it alive for Cruz.
See Cam Jones on the switch. He has to block out Ane. That's difficult.
Another 3 missed by Gebrowitz. Here come the Golden Eagles.
Here's the thing I love about Cam Jones, Jeff. We haven't mentioned him all game, right? He just lets the game come to him. You're talking about one of the best players in the Big East, their best offensive player. He hadn't taken a shot, and we haven't mentioned his name yet.
Shot clock winding down. The high arcing 3 off the rim. Offensive rebound by Joplin. Jones tries the corner this time. That one falls.
And I guess we'll talk about Cam Jones now, right? But that's what you love about it. He just lets the game come to him. I'm really impressed by just his maturity as a sophomore.
37% from 3. He's changed his shot mid-season. Not an easy thing to accomplish. Comes away with a steal, and he's bumped and down for the moment. A hard shot there as he was trying to get that loose ball. And all the attention on the reigning player of the week in the conference.
Good anticipation there. Watch him anticipate the high post entry on the steal. A hip check by Umoja. Cam was excited. I had a little fun with him at their practice last night. I said, hey, he had the belt on. So Coach Smart gives out a belt for the leader in deflection. So Cam had the belt on his shoulder. And I asked him what it was for. He said, I'm back-to-back deflection leader. And it has not been done 3 straight games in a row. I'm going to get it done tonight.
Came away with a steal there. You see Marquette, what they've done inside the arc and outside. Chase Ross, nice ball fake. I love his freshman abilities, especially on the defensive end. Chase Ross just getting better as the year goes on. Iguodaro trying to put the moves on Penn. Open, Prosper. Iguodaro, second chance now.
Did everything right except for the block out.
Ross misses the open 3. Here come the Blue Demons. Murphy tapped away by Iguodaro.
And that's just an example of Caleb Murphy being new to the lineup, right? Just a miscommunication.
Prosper's floater off the rim. DePaul over 3 minutes without a bucket.
Cam Jones is asking for a sub. I don't know if that's that hip he fell on. Keep an eye. He's wanting out of the game right now.
Mitchell, undersized, trying to lock up Evil Penn. Bodies all over the floor right now. Javen Johnson, shot clock winding down. Fading away, his jumper short. And Jones skies for the rebound, and he is really fighting it.
Yeah, he's hurting. He's hurting.
7:55 to go. Something to keep our eyes on. Cam Jones limping his way back to the Marquette bench. Golden Eagles up 6. Six-point lead right now for Marquette here on the road, and Shaka Smart trying to keep the intensity with that defensive program. Let's go inside the huddle with the head coach of Marquette.
That was a good round. You guys really picked it up down here. That was better with our dot hands. That was better with our urgency. Good job going to grab the ball. These are long possessions. Finish the possession.
Yeah, so what you hear Coach Smart talking about there, he said that was a good round, meaning 4-minute battles, right? Those 4-minute wars, he calls them rounds, right, in a fight, and he talks about his team, right, fighting the war. And then the deflections, like what they do well, they chart these. 32 is the number, Jeff. Right, they have 15 right now, and he's done the analytics for the way he wants to play. 32+ deflections. Most of the time they win, right? And I think this year they've gotten it 15 out of 16 times that they've gotten that, they've won the game.
At 47 in a victory against Seton Hall before the new year on the 27th of December. 47 deflections in one game. That is a ton. They turned over Seton Hall in New Jersey last time they played last week 26 times.
And I talked to Coach Smart about how do they get better defensively. Offensively, they are clicking. And he said, you know, just their urgency and consistency to sustain.
Kolek into the teeth of the defense. Joplin was there to finish it. It's been a while for DePaul. They're 0 for their last 4 from the floor, 1 for the last 7. Trying to get some points on the scoreboard. That's a good guy to get into. Javen Johnson has had the hot hand for the Blue Demons.
That's exactly right. Again, post entry and read the pass out of the post. Great decision there by Deshaun Nelson.
Joplin misfires on his 3. 5-point lead for Marquette. Under 7 to play in this first half.
See, they get to their spread offense here, but you got a matchup here. Erod Penn versus Tyler Kolek.
Penn should win that every time.
So Kolek has 1 foul, so every time DePaul gets a chance to attack him inside there, going at him, knowing right, he doesn't want to get that second foul. He's too important to their offense.
Ross on the drive, blocked by Javen Johnson. Murphy couldn't finish at the rim. Kolek with another rebound. Very important. The foul thing that you mentioned, Laval. Sean Jones unavailable, backup point guard. Hurt his wrist in practice yesterday. Not going to go for Marquette this afternoon.
Sure, and so Tyler Kolek has to be really smart.
Javen Johnson here, one of the great defenders in the conference, doing some defending on his own.
Yeah, it's good. And they've challenged him. He's got the length, he's got the size, he's got the athleticism to be more active on the defensive end of the floor.
He's had some foul issues over the last couple of games with Javen Johnson. Not that time. Joplin in the paint.
Nice footwork there by David Joplin. Normally a catch and shoot three guy, but showing he has some versatility to his game. You see the inside matchup again. You got Stevie Mitchell on Deshaun Nelson. He needs to get back inside so they can continue to attack in there.
Murphy tries a little shake and bake on Kolek. Seeing also Iguodala a lot on Mo Gibson up at the top of the key early in this game.
Yeah, Marquette switching the ball screens. You see DePaul doing the same here. But now rotating out of the double team, you'll have advantages.
And a travel by Stevie Mitchell leads to another turnover, the fourth for Marquette.
So you have a similar chess match going on here, right? The matchups, right? So look at David Joplin here. Nice balance, drop step, shot fake to get his balance to finish. David Joplin, I got to know Jop well during the recruiting process. His dad Howard, mom Lisa. We didn't get him, but he went to play for a friend of mine, Coach Smart, so I couldn't be too mad at him.
I don't think he hated the commute from Brookfield Central to downtown Milwaukee, about 15 minutes inside. Yorane finishes strong.
And DePaul has to keep doing that. It's a good read there. The switch right now is allowing the matchup inside, and DePaul's done a good job of attacking there. They just have to keep doing it, stay consistent.
It's good to see Cam Jones back on the floor too. Hobbled a little bit. Kolek had poked away by Errol Penn.
No numbers, no numbers. You got to pull that one back. So Caleb Murphy hadn't played in a while, hadn't practiced. He just got back into practice since October 3rd. But that's one where you have to pull that back out and get a quality possession.
1 on 5 is not one you're going to win very often.
But right there, it's a one possession game. Right now, DePaul has 6 turnovers. If they can just limit that and continue to look inside, they'll be right there at the end.
Trying to pull off another home upset in the middle of a gauntlet of a schedule. Not that every game in this conference isn't one. David Joplin draws a contact. It'll be a blocking foul. Pick up Nelson.
And David Joplin presents a matchup problem of sorts because he has the size to defend bigger than his position. But then on the other end of the court, who's going to guard him? Right now you have Deshaun Nelson, who's not used to being on the perimeter to guard him. Yorane, so he's a matchup problem on offense.
Certainly stretches the defense too with his way to shoot threes. Prosper ran into Nelson there. And Prosper threw it away. Ross was cutting towards the hoop. Prosper commits the 6th Marquette turnover here in this first half.
You see this offense here without Oso Iguodala on the court right now. Here he comes back in, but Omax Prosper playing that position. You see Coach Smart getting Oso back in there. He's the guy that they facilitate offense through. He and Kolek. The other guys are they're finishers, not as much decision makers.
Another turnover that time by Murphy. Already his 3rd turnover in the ball game.
You just can't have that. I know Caleb Murphy is excited to be back. I thought he did a tremendous job jumping right in the Xavier game and having an impact. He just got to take a deep breath and calm himself down. You see Coach Stubblefield talking to him there on the bench.
Exchanging turnovers here recently as Kolek is fouled by Javen Johnson. That's the 6th team foul for DePaul. Take us to a timeout. 3:59 to go in this first half. Got a good one on the South Loop. Marquette leads by 3. 3-point lead for Marquette on the road, and coach us up a little bit here. I'm not a math major, but 2 on 5 is not good numbers for DePaul.
Exactly, Jeff. You want to be aggressive, but this possession here, look, DePaul has 7 turnovers. You don't have numbers right there, so Caleb Murphy, as he gets himself back into the rhythm of playing the game, that's a possession that you can pull that out, get a quality possession. They've got a good game plan going right now. They're 8 for 15 from 2. They're attacking on the inside, but the 7 turnovers are killing them. It's a 1-possession game against one of the best teams in the country, one of the top teams in the conference. And if they just take care of the basketball, they can really get themselves maybe on top and create some separation.
Well, for all intents and purposes, the 7 turnovers have only led to 4 Marquette points, so the Golden Eagles could be doing more with their opportunities. And on the flip side, too, 6 turnovers for Marquette. That's not their game. They average just over 11 turnovers per contest.
Ball sticking with man-to-man here. They're doing a good job of putting a number of eyes and hands in the path of Tyler Kohler. They really made an emphasis on that.
Joplin, oh boy, was that ball hammered by Yorenay.
And that's what he brings to the table. He's 6th amongst active D1 players in blocks for a career. He missed 9 games with a foot injury, and they missed that rim protection when he was out.
Joplin on Murphy. Murphy trying to outspeed him.
Yeah, you got to move it. Here's the advantage. You got Chase Ross on Deshaun Nelson.
David Johnson, not to be that time, out of bounds, and it's off of Marquette. Fresh 20 for DePaul. How about this pin job by Yorenay?
And that's something that he does. Good anticipation, good rotation. Good job by Javen Johnson of moving his hands out of the way. And listen, it makes your life, if you're Javen Johnson or Moji Gibson, a lot easier defensively. You can be a bit more aggressive when you know you have a guy like Yorenay back there. And they could have another guy, Nick Ungenda, who's been out all season with a wrist injury back there.
This guy was cast off earlier in the week. He's hopeful maybe a couple of weeks away.
Again, they have the switch inside. You got Nelson and Cam Jones.
Gibson, extra pass, Yorenay for 3. And here comes Kolek. Yorenay now 0 for 6 from 3. That is not his game, but the shot clock winding down. Kolek into the corner for Mitchell. And his 3 rimmed in and out.
That's because he just makes the right, 9 times out of 10, Tyler Kolek makes the right decision, doesn't he?
Gibson deep 3, that falls.
That's the right decision from Deshaun Nelson. You see Moji Gibson open, swing that basketball to him as fast as you can.
3 for 10 now from distance for DePaul. We're all tied up. Isolated, Iguodaro. Kolek blocked by Yorenay and a foul. 2 blocks, couple of possessions for the big man Yorenay. Go back to the 3 on the other end. Gibson can hit these in his sleep.
Yeah, they catch him in a rotation there. Deshaun Nelson, what I love about that is he got it off his hands, got the ball off his hands quickly to a wide open Mo Gibson. And then Yorenay having an impact, and he's still, I believe, limited in terms of the minutes he can play with coming off the foot injury, stress reaction with the foot. But man, it's good for Coach Stubblefield to have him in the lineup.
Kolek at the line. And he misses the front end of the 1-on-1.
You talk in terms of an upset, Jeff. Those are the things that factor in. The other team has to miss some easy ones, miss some free throws to allow you some opportunities.
Under 2 to play here in this first half. For as hot as these 2 offenses got out of the gates, it's been quiet since. Nelson flying through. Gives DePaul the lead. It's their first of the day.
Again, the switching defense, DePaul, when they don't turn the ball over, doing a good job of attacking it.
Iguodaro fouled on his drive. I think they'll get Nelson. Second foul on Nelson.
The switch here, look, it's Prosper and Joplin. Typically, that's Oso Iguodaro in the switch, right? Two guys that aren't in it as much with Joplin and Prosper. And then Mo Gibson makes him pay a nice pass to Deshaun Nelson slipping to the basket.
See the run here for DePaul. The offense has gone stagnant. Now they're 0 for 3 from the foul line in the game, and a foul on Joplin.
It's a good job. When you're playing Marquette, Xavier, as good as their offenses are, I remember coaching against the Villanova team when they had Brunson and Bridges and DiVincenzo, and it was just it had so much firepower. They played so well together. You had to figure out a way to just outscore them. Like you weren't going to stop them, slow them down as best you can, but you had to score. And I think DePaul's offense right now is operating really well.
And a transition 3, and we're going to get also Iguodaro on a foul on the box-out attempt on Eral Penn. They had 3 Golden Eagles underneath the basket there to try and pick up that rebound.
See the transition basket with Eral Penn underneath. And the swim move there is what, they've tried to take that out of the game. That's a foul on Mitchell there. Yeah, Mo Gibson coming off the screen. Mitchell got him on the hand. And I always struggle with that, Jeff, in the post.
Yeah.
Like, it's physical down there. We lift weights for a reason.
Sure.
So, freedom of movement, I understand. It's hard to be a post defender these days. Blockouts are difficult.
Gibson, one of the best free throw shooters in the country, just missed the first. Had a couple of big free throw misses late in the game against Georgetown. The guy on the season who's at 90%, just his 10th miss. He's now 80 for 90, and he's 1 out of 2.
Marquette's done a good job getting to him early in transition. They emphasize that at their practice. Their pickup point with Mo Gibson. He can shoot it from the logo, from anywhere on the court. So they lost him once and he made him pay.
Late substitution here for Marquette, trying to get their offense in the right direction. They have not made a bucket since the 6:02 mark. But Cam Jones back on the floor, and he's fighting it a little bit with his lower half.
Inversion there. Hold set the screen for Oso.
Able to bury the 3. Ties it back up.
And you don't need the help there if you're DePaul. Make Oso a low post one-on-one player. He's really good driving the basketball from the high post, playing from outside in. Make him play a low post game. Don't overhelp and give up threes there.
Johnson with Oso on him. Takes the drive, and Oso Iguodaro with a block. Transition for Marquette. Joplin the trailer.
Bob's got to take that shot.
He'll take that one instead and buries it. Timeout Marquette, 35 seconds to go.
Turned out a good one to get a great one. And that's, you can tell the offense there, and watch them. Oso's done a tremendous job of switching onto the guards, keeping them in front. And this is what you love about Marquette's offense. Joplin had a pretty good opportunity, turned it down because he knows the way that they play, the ball will come back and find you. And that just tells you about the connection and the chemistry of this Marquette ball club that's been so impressive to watch all season.
See Joplin with the 10 points to lead all scorers, and they turn it into a 2-for-1 situation too. 35 seconds the game clock. 3-point lead here for Marquette. Well, this is an American Cancer Society Coaches versus Cancer Suits and Sneakers Week. This year specifically asking all fans to help set the screen by making sure that they and their loved ones have the most up-to-date information on the recommended cancer screenings and which tests are right for them. To learn more, visit coaches.cancer.org.
Marquette with a little pressure to cut the clock. DePaul needs a good, it's a one-possession game. They're in good shape, need a good possession here to finish the half.
Gibson with Ross on him, the freshman. Gibson deep 3, and we are tied again.
Always a good possession when Mo Gibson's taking a 3.
Gibson to stop. 7 points for Gibson. Kolek trying to bleed his way in. couldn't get the and one, but he's going to go to the line. And that's Nelson's third.
Nelson does a good job of attacking the nail. Mo Gibson re-spacing, and he is always shot ready. Good possession there. I'd love to see Caleb Murphy, and look at what Caleb Murphy brings is another perimeter defender in that last possession defensively.
Kolek misses. Marquette is now 0 for 4 from the free throw line in this first half. And Kolek, an 81% free throw shooter on the season.
You don't have anybody in the lane for Marquette here. 2.7. Time for DePaul to get a good look. They can get it out quick and go.
Get it in the speediest man's hands. Gibson from half court heaves off the backboard. 1 point lead for Marquette as we go to the locker rooms.
And I thought both teams, it's a tremendous start to the game. DePaul, good attack. We'll see the adjustments coming into the second half, Jeff, but we got a good one.
Joplin leading the way with 10 points. Have some stats and info for you. Jeep halftime report. 1 point lead for Marquette in Chicago. We are back on the South Loop. South side of Chicago, 1 point lead for Marquette. LaVall Jordan, we had to get you off his pogo stick so that we could have our first segment of the Jeep halftime show. With LaVall Jordan, Jeff Levering with you. And LaVall, listen, DePaul has done a really nice job. They've contained this high-powered offense from Marquette to just 33 points in this first half.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about my hip flexors with the pogo stick.
Yeah, it hurts.
But no, DePaul's offense, right? You look at Marquette, David Joplin, 10 points off the bench, right? Out of the 33 points, that's big, right? And then on the other side of the ball, Deshaun Nelson making good decision. He has 4 assists. It's the DePaul offense that I've been impressed with, Jeff. They have 10 assists on 13 made field goals. They're 9 for 18 from 2. Right? It's the turnovers, but they're 1 point game, 1 possession game. Marquette's a hard, offense to stop. They're so efficient and productive, but they're right there with them offensively, and I think that is the impressive thing coming out of the first half.
Stat comparison sponsored by Jeep. There is only one. We will be back. Other side, Jeep halftime report from Los Angeles continues. Stick with us. Game 1 of 2 on FS1. Players who have led the way for both teams. David Joplin with 10 points off the bench. 3 rebounds. Deshaun Nelson's had himself a really nice first half as well. 5 points, 7 rebounds, number of assists too, but 3 fouls. That's huge, LaVall.
That is key because he has 4 assists, right? And because of the way that Marquette played them with the switches, he had advantages inside, big on small, and he made good decisions out of it. And so the 3 fouls are a big factor coming in. And I thought David Joplin off the bench, look, when he's at his best, he's taking quality shots. He's aggressive. He was 2 for 3 from 3. That's what he does. He's their next best shooter, maybe even their best shooter, right, beside Cam Jones. And you got to get to him if you're DePaul in this second half. You can't let him come in and impact the game.
I'm curious how Cam Jones comes out of the gates here in the second half. Remember, left for a little bit of time, got kind of banged on his hip at one point. Trying to pick up a steal. He had 7 points in that first half, played almost 14 minutes, but his health is going to be a big part of this. After a week off last week, victory against Seton Hall over the weekend, had all week to try and recover. And you look at the numbers so far, just 33 points in that first half, and they averaged better than 82, LaVall.
Yeah, I thought Paul did a good job, again, right, of just getting back, being very active. They made it a point of emphasis to contain Tyler Kolek. I thought they had eyes on him, thought they had hands in his gaps. Now, can they sustain it is what Coach Stubblefield talked about when I was with him at shoot-around, our consistency.
3 assists, 3 turnovers in that first half for Kolek. He did have 8 points and 7 rebounds. Prosper, quiet first half. Kolek. Cam Jones, deep 3 over Kemper-Witt, and didn't get the roll.
And now we'll see if Marquette continues to switch these ball screens in the pick and roll, given the mismatches that DePaul attacked in the first half.
Gibson, who starts this second half run of the point, see this matchup with.
Yeah, you got your Arnay down there with Mitchell. You also have Oso trying to guard Mo Gibson.
David Johnson, a corner three short off the top of the backboard. Cam Jones with the rebound. Seems to be moving just fine here at the outset of the second half. Prosper tries his hand at a three, and he's short. Able to get his own rebound. Kolek, wide open three. Falls for him. He's in double figures.
And that's just Errol Penn. Right, fell asleep there. Had a good contest. He started out in transition. He's got to get back in the play with the defensive rebound. You can't give Marquette 2 looks at it.
Not a team that does a lot of offensive rebounding either. Second chance points, not their strong suit.
There you see the matchup again. Kolek inside on Errol Penn. He's got to demand the ball there. They have to find a way to get it in. That's when they were at their best in the first half, attacking inside out.
David Johnson, shot clock winding down. High floater, no, but there's your Renee to clean it up.
And you see when Oso Ighodaro comes over and rotates to try to block a shot, it opens up rebounding for Uribe.
Kolek's going to go to the line. The foul by Gibson.
And this is something that plagues DePaul, right? They send their opponents to the line 21 times a game. They only get to the line 17 times a game. Obviously, the Georgetown game, it was a huge factor in the game. 41 free throws by Georgetown. But to be able to defend without fouling, right, especially when you're in a tight ball game, in 1 or 2 possessions.
Kolek now 1 for 4 from the free throw line. And this is a big question mark here for Tony Stubblefield. Gibson just picked up his 3rd foul. So what do you do as he is the floor general, essentially? Great scoring threat, but he's out there with 3.
Sure, I think we'll see a lot more of the matchup zone from Coach Stubblefield. He'll extend the defense to shorten the clock, right? Lessen the amount of time they have to spend in the half court. This Errol Penn there on the backside.
He was asking
again, you got Kolek on Uribe down low. If you can get it to him, you got Errol Penn on Cam Jones. And that's if the ball can just stay patient. I like them attacking the big on small matchup, Jeff, inside, versus the guards out top dancing on the big, trying to create and drive past them. I think it's better.
The ball is just kind of stagnant, not popping. DePaul's offense runs into trouble. Errol Penn's going to go to the line. Just 3 free throw attempts in the first half for DePaul.
He is one of their leaders. When you talk to their coaching staff about who's your leaders, I always like to ask the coaches and ask the staff. Errol Penn and Emoji Gibson, those are the guys that are up, getting guys up to work out this summer and this fall. 6:30 in the morning, player-led, 2 transfers coming in, wanting to make an impact on the program, and they can do it on and off the court.
Penn, 66% free throw shooter, nailed them both. Had 2 big free throws in the upset win over Xavier. Kolek finds Oso, who throws it down.
They just never stop. Right? They're always in motion, under control the majority of the time, and they always look for each other.
Prosper nearly came away with a turnover. No shot clock reset. So 12 to shoot. Gibson feeds Jaden Johnson.
That's one of the better parts of the DePaul offense when you watch them on film and look at they're a tremendous cutting team, right? Playing off of Mo Gibson in the pick and roll and cutting to the basket.
Little baby shot there from Oso Ighodaro just inside the free throw line. Doesn't look pretty, but it's effective.
Well, those little floaters, look, he's not a jump shooting big. He's not really a low post big. He's got the middle game and the drives and attacks.
Geberwood had it knocked away by Jones.
You see Geberwood there again, trying to post up and get a little bit out of character for what his game allows.
Kolek, not sure what he was trying to do there. His little runner
looked like he came up short there, jammed a knee or ankle.
Open 3, Gibson off the mark.
A lot. I see DePaul caught in mismatch.
Mitchell 0 for the day. That's off of Omax Prosper. It's going to go to DePaul. Marquette with a 3-point lead here on the road.
And this offense, right, they never stop moving. Even when you're on the floor, if you get back up, Tyler Kolek will find you. Strong finish, right, keeping the lead for Marquette.
Big East basketball sponsored by Jeep. There is only one. Marquette with a 3-point lead here on the road. Number 16 in the country. And also Iguodaro has been such a huge part of this season, Coach.
The unique big man. He's tremendous in the pick and roll. Sometimes he's the ball handler. Most times he's the screener. Right? And you see him driving, falling down, but he's a good finisher, right? Good creator off the dribble. And here's where he's improved. He's not a low post player, but he has some middle game with his drives and his floaters. And the other thing you notice, Jeff, in those clips is all of those baskets came off a Tyler Kolek pass. Those two work so well together, right, to initiate the Marquette offense. And they're the reason that it operates at such a high level. Also has 4 assists tonight. Kolek has 5 assists tonight, 9 out of the 12 Marquette assists.
So he's 4 for 4 from the floor. Over his last 3 games, he'd only missed 3 shots. 18 for 21, just so efficient, but he can shoot a high percentage when all you're doing is dunking and hitting little floaters too.
They see Marquette extending the pressure here. Deshaun Nelson back in the game with 3 fouls. Hey, keep your eyes on that. No Mo Gibson because he has 3 fouls. So how would DePaul generate some offense here with Mo out of the game?
David Johnson has 10. Nelson locked up on Iguodaro. Now he needs help. And a held ball is going to stay with DePaul with 3 seconds on that shot clock.
Possession a bit stagnant for DePaul. They just continue to move the ball. Keep setting good screens. They'll find the matchup that they want eventually.
Caleb Murphy trying to get this thing inbounds. Javen Johnson with Prosper all over him. Johnson's 3 short, and Iguodaro pulls down the rebound.
Those are the ones where Deshaun had to be careful to not pick up that 4 from early.
Kolek feeds Joplin for 3. 13 for Joplin off the bench.
And it's a tough matchup for Eral Penn. Right, he's not used to guarding on the perimeter. Like Joplin makes it hard. He can defend on the inside, but he plays on the outside on offense.
Gebrowitz falling away. Joplin altered that shot. Great box out by Ross.
And this is where you miss a guy like Jalen Terry, who's a backup point guard who's out with an illness. Right, just being able for that second unit to go. And look at Oso on the glass. One-handed, I mean, impressive with his athleticism. And then too much help there by Eral Penn. You got to stay home and make Tyler Kolek finish at the basket.
Iguodaro into the corner, feeds Joplin again. Joplin buries another.
Tremendous, tremendous. And Jeff, what do you do with Oso Iguodaro? I know David Joplin's the beneficiary on the backside.
It's one of the most efficient team in the country.
If you can shoot the basketball, you want to be on the court with a guy like Tyler Kolek or Oso Iguodaro. Have your hands ready, feet set, and David Joplin can do that for sure.
Largest lead of the game for Marquette is Mark Aguirre. DePaul royalty makes his way towards his floor seat. He's good for 10 points somewhere, right? Don't forget tomorrow, NFC Championship game presented by Intuit TurboTax as the 49ers take on the Eagles. Trip to the Super Bowl on the line. It all kicks off 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Pre-game coverage starting at 1 Eastern, only on Fox, on the Fox Sports app. What do you got, LaVelle?
Who you got in that one? I mean, the rookie quarterback is impressive.
Brock Purdy, yep, he's been pretty good. Both defenses are amazing. it's going to come down to turnovers, right? Has to.
It always does. I don't care what sport. Just big plays and turnovers.
I'm going to be locked in.
That one that'll be a lot of fun.
Locked in on it. Speaking of locked in, Tyler Kolek, also Iguodaro, they've come out of this second half and they've been perfect.
No, 5 assists on 5 made field goals, 0 turnovers. And you look up who's the ball going through. Tyler Kolek has 3 assists in the second half. So he's the engine that makes the Marquette offense go, no doubt about it. And they're going to go a little zone here, Marquette, out of this timeout. Go zone, go man. Just to disrupt whatever Coach Stubblefield drew up in the timeout.
Gibson with 7 to shoot.
That's where I think that DePaul has to continue to attack. Just stick with it. It's a 3-possession game. But Mo Gibson specifically and Deshaun Nelson, when those guys are in the pick and roll, they've done a good job together of making the connection against the switch and the mismatch.
Chase Ross just picked up his second. Gibson ran into trouble. It's tapped away by Prosper. 14 seconds on the shot clock. And remember, when we came on the air, Xavier and Creighton was not a final yet. Xavier loses to Creighton on the road. So a victory for Marquette puts them in sole possession of first place in the Big East. As we've reached the halfway point in conference play.
Nobody thought that.
Picked 9th.
When they lost Justin Lewis, Darrell Morsell, that those guys are, Justin Lewis with the Chicago Bulls, he tore his ACL, and Darrell Morsell playing with the 905 Raptors, two really high-level players, and they found and developed this roster.
How about Joplin? 11-0 run, and most of it coming from Joplin.
He's past feeling it. He's in the zone, Jeff. They have to get him off the line.
Gibson tries to answer and does. Boy, did DePaul need that one.
Yeah, that was a big basket.
3, Joplin, and a bit of a heat check. Ross there for an offensive rebound. Joplin's in the corner saying, I want it again. How about Ross for 3 from the wing? Short. Iguodaro trying to keep it alive. It's out of bounds in DePaul's basketball.
Chase Ross there, I'd like to see him turn that one down. That's not really his game. He's capable, no question, but they can get that shot, especially from him, one of the better shooters later.
Joplin with 19 points, 7 of 10 from the floor. He's made 5 threes. See him smiling there.
Yeah, he goes from being on fire to airballing, so his teammates are giving him a little flack about that one.
Sometimes NBA Jam, it just corrects itself, right? You could be on fire, but then fire up an air ball. It happens.
Here's the ball. A little action from Mo Gibson. Good set from Coach.
And he made it. Big shot from Mo. Back-to-back threes for Gibson. He has 13. Hit the Blue Demons back in it. No Oso on the floor. Now Prosper for 3. What a huge shot for Prosper.
And here's the thing, Jeff. DePaul continues to get seduced to help on Tyler Kolek. You want to make him a finisher at the rim and live with the ones that he makes.
Oh, what an acrobatic finish from Mo Gibson.
The pace of this thing is picking up.
Kolek feeds Prosper, left hand, no. There's Stevie Mitchell. Look what I found.
And Stevie Mitchell is not a guy we've mentioned much, but his role on this team, he's the ultimate glue guy, knows the system, second year in. He's the best perimeter defender. You see Caleb Murphy with another turnover.
3 on the other end. Prosper from his backside. Rated threes in Chicago.
You see Coach Smart getting excited because Max is here for the party today. Big shot there. Much improved player. Marquette up.
Alumni Day here at DePaul. A lot of great DePaul Blue Demon Alums on the floor. 12-point lead for Marquette. Let's go inside the huddle with Tony Stubblefield trying to get his defense going.
You're going to have to guard the three-point line. You guys have got to guard the three-point line. We've got to guard them, guys. We're just trading baskets. Guys, you've got to get out there on. You've got to go. Hey, don't worry. Don't cry. You've got to guard the three-point line, guys. We're scoring. We're just not guarding them.
And you hear Coach Stubblefield there getting to his guys. We cannot trade baskets with this Marquette team and this high-powered offense. And you look at the numbers there, 6 for 11 from 3 in the second half is Marquette. And I thought Coach had a good point. We're scoring. Right? They've done a good job. They've up 14 points in this half. Freed up Mo Gibson for a couple threes there right before we went to break, but you have to get back and get set. It's easier said than done against Marquette, Jeff, but not trading baskets, especially here in the guts of the game.
Max Prosper going to the line.
How much better has Omax gotten? I mean, he is really improved. Obviously coached against him last year. He's a much better shooter. Talked to their staff at practice about what he worked on. His balance was a big key. He's raw, but now a little more sturdy. The weight room and conditioning, better balance as a player.
Gibson in the corner for 3, a foul and chance for 4.
How about this? I don't know, have you ever seen back-to-back three-pointers plus the foul?
That back-to-back, he saw him a lot when Marcus Howard was playing for Marquette. Back-to-back here for Mo Gibson.
And when Coach says trading baskets, it is literally trading baskets. Omax Prosper on one end gets fouled on the 3, and Mo Gibson on this end fouled on the 3. And can DePaul find a way now to get some stops? They're going to go 1-2-2, back to their matchup zone, see if they can break the rhythm of this Marquette offense in the second half.
Gibson's got 12 straight for DePaul to keep him in it.
Want to back off there when Oso catches it, just back off. Don't allow him drive lines, and they don't have to overhelp when he has the ball.
Shot clock winding down. 3 from Kolek, short. Ben Gold comes away with it. Kolek took it himself. Kolek having a great day offensively, 14 points.
I thought Stevie Mitchell there with a really good decision to turn down that 3, keep the ball moving, get it back to Kolek.
8 offensive rebounds now for Marquette in the game.
Got the matchup with Gold on Gibson over here.
David Johnson looking for some space. He's been quiet here in the second half. Johnson now for 3. High arcing shot short.
Thought he rushed that one.
And Iguodala closing quick. Prosper. And Urinay slapped it away. Then Gold tried to keep it alive. Going to go to DePaul. Almost trading turnovers there. Feels like a really big possession for DePaul.
It is, yeah. You know, downhill. You see Caleb Murphy here sucking a little wind, getting his game legs back underneath him. But right now for DePaul, big possession. To be able to get it back into single digits. They can find a good look here. I like Mo Gibson in a screening action.
Murphy trying to get around a couple of Marquette defenders. Murphy into Urinay. Urinay got it slapped away.
There was again, Jeff, that matchup, big on small inside against the switch. And Caleb Murphy, I thought, made a good decision. He started to attack, but then he saw Urinay inside with Tyler Kolek behind him. Made a good post-entry pass. And now they get 2 free throws out of it.
So the foul goes on Iguodala, just his second. You put Ane at the line, where he misses the first of 2. 13 of 18 on the season from the stripe.
thought the 1-2-2 back to the zone stagnated Marquette a bit. DePaul just didn't finish the possession with a rebound. Right? Stay in that, be disruptive, find someone to hit on the block out when the shot goes up.
Joplin fouled as he tried to go baseline on a Ney. Picks up his second. 15th foul for DePaul. A couple more to give. 9:41 to go. 10-point lead for Marquette. Lead has been as large as 13.
Good job there by Cruz getting back to Joplin and making him deck the ball. Here's where you have to be disciplined if you're DePaul right now. Last 10 seconds of the clock. Stay home and make them finish over you.
Iguodaro instead, he goes under.
Or under. And that's what makes him a tough matchup, right? Catching the ball at the nail, being able to drive attack, use his pivots and counter moves. A hard matchup for a traditional big guy like Ney.
Double figures now for Iguodaro. Murphy's jumper short. Kolek pulls down another rebound. Kolek flirting triple-double numbers. Ney tied up, and it's going to stay with Marquette.
That last possession from DePaul, Caleb Murphy with a pull-up two. You can get that shot anytime late in the clock. Elongate those possessions. That's where you want Marquette. They struggle. The half-court defense is still a work in progress, right? They turn you over, they pick you up full court. But in the half court, you can find some advantages if you just are patient.
How about the three in the corner again?
How about the vision from Tyler Kolek on the inbounds pass?
22 now for Joplin. He's one off his career high. Marquette doing all of this with very limited help from Cam Jones, bothered by that hip. Zion Cruz, smooth jumper.
And he's a guy in his first Big East game against St. John's had 14 points. He's a top 40 recruit. He's learning the level of effort and college defense. But in terms of contributing factors and upsides, Zion Cruz is right there.
Gibson stole it away from Iguodaro. Gibson trying to push the tempo. They will count it. Chance for a three-point play for Mo Gibson.
Shaka Smart's over there saying, hey, Mike Roberts, this isn't the NBA. He took a dribble and another step after the whistle.
There's the whistle. Keep going. Really late continuation call here.
And Mo Gibson is a veteran. Look, he's been around the block of knowing the tricks and the craftiness and how to get the ball up to the rim into a shot motion. And Shaka's still contending that call with the ref.
Prosper backing down. Prosper just too strong.
Well done. That's the balance we were talking about, improvement. Right, getting the 2 feet on balance right there in the lane. Nice right hand hook.
11 from Prosper. He had 2 in the first half.
His sister's a big-time player, Jeff.
Yep.
Over at Notre Dame. I asked him yesterday who'd win the battle one-on-one, him or her.
Great move. Crafty finish by Gibson again. He is putting the Blue Demons on his back.
Better possession by DePaul there. Take your time, find the advantages, make Marquette work on that end of the floor. Now can you settle in here and get some stops?
Gibson 24. Right-hand finish on the reverse by Kolek.
I don't know if there's any stopping that man tonight. He is so good. Pace, plays with such a good pace. Eyes and head are always up, sees the court.
Gibson and a foul on Joplin, and he cannot believe it. 12-point lead for Marquette. Joplin picked up the foul, but he is raining threes.
Look at Tyler Kolek here, catching the defense, sleeping, throwing it behind the defense. Jop knows it, but that is elite vision from Kolek on the baseline inbounds pass.
Marquette leads by a dozen at the moment. Before the game, I was witness to it. LaVall Jordan, you said to Tyler Kolek, hey, how about a triple-double today? He's listening to you.
No, he is. Tyler, such a good kid. We've gotten a relationship here over the past years, coaching against him and going to their practices. I said, hey, Tyler, well, how about a triple-double tonight? You've been flirting with one. You look up right now, and he's doing it all here for the Marquette Golden Eagles. Right, driving, dishing, passing. He's making his threes. Earlier this season when I ran into him at practice, Jeff, I said, he wanted to know our game plan when we beat them last year. I said, we went under your screens. And he said, I guarantee you no one will go under on me this year, Coach.
Right.
He's 2 for 4 tonight, shooting the ball much better, getting back to what he was, when he was at George Mason. He shot 36% from 3, made 53 of them. You see his numbers here tonight, 16 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. And again, he's the head of the snake when you talk about Marquette. The offense, the ball movement. I talked to Cam Jones earlier today about playing with Tyler Kolek, and he said, Coach, I tell him every day, I'm glad you're my point guard.
No doubt. A lot of people that don't talk about Tyler Kolek and how good he is, as Joplin just took that away from Gibson.
Speaking of Cam Jones, he hasn't been back in this game. He tried to give it a go here to start the second half, but we haven't seen him much here, so that hip injury.
Joplin left alone. That's not the guy you want to leave on an island. A career-high 25.
And this is the guy that's picked up the slack since Cam Jones hasn't come back in the game. David Joplin having a phenomenal game.
Went for 23 earlier this season to establish the new career high against Central Michigan. 25 so far. David Johnson has been silent here in the second half, and he just threw it away.
You see the value there of Omax Prosper defensively. Versatile defender. Good set here out of the timeout by Coach Smart. Ball screen, back screen. And the too much help on that back screen, leaving David Joplin open. Wrong decision defensively. You'll see it again here. You see also setting the ball screen. Jop there on the back screen.
Iguodaro, extra pass to Prosper. That ball whipping around. Kolek for 3. He's having himself a day.
Tremendous. That possession right there embodies Marquette basketball, Jeff. Turn down good for great. Drive, kick, ball moves, people move. And they are tremendous. Let's take a look at this. Kolek downhill, drop off. Also had a chance, didn't catch it clean. Now it's Chase Ross, the freshman, giving up good for great, which is a mature decision for a young fella. And
Marquette faithful starting to show themselves here with their voice in Chicago. Huge alumni base, just up I-94, about an hour and a half away from downtown Milwaukee. They are here in full throat. Largest lead of the game at 18 points for Marquette as Gibson's at the line and makes the first.
When you're dealing with Marquette, Jeff, I asked, Coach Smart, listen, in his coaching career, 10 times he's had a top 40 defense in the country. This is only the 4th time he's had a top offense in the country. And so I asked him about it, and he just said, honestly, we have an unselfish group. They really like playing with each other, and that's where it starts. And then Oso and Tyler Kolek, your 2 leaders make it so unique.
Prosper for 3. And Oso comes away with an offensive rebound.
They just make team decisions. When you watch them play, there's energy on the ball, and it's the best decision for the team in that possession.
Ross with the shot clock winding down off the heel.
Had to take that one.
Double-double for Kolek today. He's 2 rebounds short of a triple-double. Would be the first for Marquette since 2003, and some ho-hum guy named Dwayne Wade in the Elite 8.
He's just okay.
Turned out to be an okay player.
All right player.
Wade,
he has heart. This Kolek, you see him, he doesn't back down. He's a competitor. Takes on any challenge. Relishes the role of leadership. When I asked him, what'd you work on this offseason, Tyler? He said, I wanted to be a better leader. Worked on my jump shot and my leadership.
Joplin on fire.
And this guy worked on his jump shot. My goodness.
28 for Joplin off the bench.
That is 8 of them. 8 for 10 from 3.
Force another turnover.
And this is where Kolik's elite. Watch him find. Oh, I thought he was going to skip it to Joplin over there on the wing.
Trying to get a little too fancy with the pass there. Rare turnover for Kolik. His first turnover of the second half. Leading by 20. Can have a little bit of a smile about it. Joplin heads to the bench. Man, what a game he has had. He's shooting from 3 in the second half.
Oh, yeah, a good player. David Joplin, Brookfield Central High School state championship his sophomore season, and he is improved, and his best days are ahead of him, to be quite honest.
Lead from Marquette continues to swell. Deshaun Nelson trying to keep DePaul in it.
Yeah, and I thought his 4th foul, him picking up 4, gave Marquette an advantage because he could slow the game down offensively for DePaul going inside just like that last possession.
No slowing Marquette down right now. Gold for 3. But the only bad shot they've taken all game, and it wasn't a bad look. There's a 3 and it falls. KT Rainey on the floor for the first time. Listen, this is a well-oiled machine.
And here's the issue now: when you get down like this, you need to trap and force some action, but they pass it and see the floor and see each other so well. Like, you can't do it just like that. Cola, you want to try to force a turnover to get yourself back in it, but you go down there and Oso makes a great decision. Cola goes for 3. It's just hard.
David Joplin, he has been the man for Marquette. 28.
And you see there, fastball from Oso, Joplin for 3, and he's wondering why he was so wide open.
Marquette is pulling away here on the South Loop in Chicago, up by 18, 3:04 to go. Oh, February 1st, Big East and Fox Sports are proud to partner for National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Head coach Megan Duffy of Marquette University will take on Denise Dillon, the number 21 Villanova Wildcats, in our first female forward telecast. There will be a female producer, director, broadcast team, game day staff, and referees, including an all-female technical crew. It's all coming up Wednesday, February 1st, only on FS2. Game summary today. LaValle, you made a great point. 11 made threes for Marquette in this second half. DePaul has 11 makes in this second half.
And that's the game. That's a separator. You look at you do the math. It's 45 to 24 from three-point land, and that is David Joplin is responsible for the majority of that, coming off the bench, ready to go. And there's some guys, if you say, hey, when I check into the game, that's my heat check. I think David Joplin's one of those guys. Like, I don't need warm-ups. Come right into the game and get rolling. And, he's one of those guys. And you think Cam Jones hasn't been in. Think about that for a minute, Jeff. Like, this offense has been operating with this efficiency without their best and leading scorer in the game in the second half.
18 in the second half for Joplin. You saw Jones to his left on the bench. Haven't needed him. Reigning conference player of the week. Murphy, this hasn't been his day. It's been a grind all day long for Caleb Murphy.
And he's tried to force it a bit too much. Just force some action.
Gold for 3, no Prosper offensive rebound. He's going to the line.
I love Max's outlook. Just get his fingerprints on the game in a lot of ways. He's improved as a scorer. You see him here on the offensive glass. He's a switch defender on the other end. He's done a good job on Javen Johnson today. And that's where, you know, when NBA scouts and you talk to those guys about prototypes for the next level, 6'8", 6'9", can switch, can play on the perimeter, 3-and-D type of guys like Omax. Bright future ahead of him.
You see Iguodala checking out, Joplin checking back in. You know, the three guys you mentioned, Prosper, Iguodala, and Jones, the three of them have essentially doubled their production from a year ago. Finally in the limelight for this Marquette program. And they have taken their opportunities, and they have not just run, they have sprinted with them.
And I think it speaks to Coach Smart and the way he wants to run a program. You know, you think about when he was at VCU, there's only 2 top 100 recruits on this roster, Oso Iguodala and Stephen Mitchell. And development's a big part of what they do. And so when you look at Omax, when you look at Oso, you look at Joplin, those guys have improved tremendously from last year to this year.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go, Joplin and Ben Gold gets that long rebound. Kolek is 1 rebound short, by the way, of a triple-double as he makes his shot.
Smart, uses his body. See him there with the long step, putting his shoulder as a weapon on the chest of the defender. Be a great coach one day.
No doubt about that. Nelson got it blocked by Joplin. 3 now by Ramey, and that falls. Under a minute and a half to go, Tyler Kolek, not sure if he's going to be able to finish this ball game. He is 1 rebound short of a triple-double. Again, would be the first since the Elite Eight in 03 by Dwayne Wade, and the Marquette faithful going to rise to their feet as they unload the bench. What an effort from Kolek today. 24 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds. I guess it was all your pep talk, Lavelle.
Hey, I don't know if it was that. I think it's just him being a really good basketball player, Jeff. And it shows you his improvement. You know, teams were playing him to score last year. He took it personal. He scored at George Mason, got back to his old ways, but did not lose the ability to make others better.
Tijeray is fouled on his way to the hoop. Keenan Tijeray, again, this is not quite up to date with a Marquette victory on it. Xavier with a loss earlier today against Creighton. I'm telling you, watch out for Creighton down the stretch. That is a team that, I mean, they are on a roll right now.
Getting healthy, getting Kalkbrenner back and healthy and finding their way. Here's what's funny is Sean Miller, Shaka Smart, 2 coaches that are known for their defense. When you talk Havoc, you talk Sean Miller and the grittiness that his teams play with, they're at the top of the league with their offense.
It's crazy, right?
Greg McDermott, who's one of the best offensive coaches in the country, is right there with his defense. They have the best defense in the Big East.
Speaking of great defense, Tijeray just went right to the point of attack. He runs the floor, and he's going to go to the line.
Look at the bench. You love that. Just seeing a guy that's every day in practice, they get to compete against each other. His athleticism is elite. He had committed to Texas with Shaka, followed him here to Marquette. See the athleticism on display there on both ends. Has earned the minutes behind a guy like Oso Iguodala, but teammates love it on the bench.
Got charged with the charge, so Tijeray ended up not going to the line. They got an offensive foul on him. And a couple of shots coming for Nelson. It's an impressive team. This Marquette team scored 33 points in the first half. That was not indicative of what this team is offensively.
And you see that bench, you know, Jeff, you think about Coach Smart emphasizes EGBs with his team, energy-giving behaviors. They chart them in practice. Might be a chest bump, smack on the floor, word of encouragement, anything that gives energy to your team and your teammates. And they play with great energy. They move the ball with great energy.
They have taken on the personality of their head coach, that's for sure. Here's a 3 in the corner. Offensive rebound, and how about the bucket? Jonah Lucas, the freshman. First bucket of his career. It's out of bounds. Going to stay with DePaul.
Love that.
Be able to get a smile off of Jonah's face for a week.
You love that. I know every time you have their guys, their practice players, non-scholarship guys get in the game. When they can get in the game, and those guys want nothing more than to get him a basket so they can cheer for him.
Great dance moves by David Joplin there too. He's had the hot hand offensively. Great box out. Michael Kennedy clearing the way for Lucas to pick up the rebound and finish this ball game out. The second half was awfully impressive. 56 points in the second stanza for the Golden Eagles to pick up win number 17 on the season, Lavelle.
Yeah, and Coach Smart, this team and this program embodies Shaka Smart. When you think about how he wants his team to play, it's a good start to get momentum for the back half of the Big East Conference season for them, as they're in the race for a Big East championship.
They are in the lead right now in the conference. A 30-point victory over DePaul here in Chicago. A lot of highlights today. We'll be back in just a moment. Sit down with head coach Shaka Smart after these words. Three straight victories for Marquette. Career high day for David Joplin off the bench. Finishes the game high 28. A massive game for him. Tyler Kolek falls just one rebound short of a triple-double. Would have been the first for this Marquette program since 2003 when Dwayne Wayne did it in the Elite Eight against Kentucky. Great ball game, especially in the second half for Marquette as they finish off this victory over DePaul by 30. And we've got the head coach Shaka Smart standing by with Lavelle Jordan.
Thanks, Jeff. Coach Smart, right? This is on the victory. Tremendous performance by your team, especially in the second half. It was a one-point game at halftime. What changed for you?
Well, I thought defensively our guys had really good energy, and we knew, hey, DePaul's got some really good shooters. They're going to make some tough shots. We just got to stay with it, stay together. Thought we rebounded the ball well. And then on the offensive end, we were a completely different team in the second half. A lot less one-on-one, a lot more playing through actions and creating shots for each other. And it helps when Jop makes 8 threes.
I was going to ask you about David Joplin. Now, we've competed. You're my brother. We've competed on the court and off for recruits. You beat me out for David Joplin, and he was absolutely fantastic today. Talk about his contribution.
Well, I told you before we got on the air, that's what you recruit him to do, is to make shots like that. And, you know, he's had a really good season, but it's been a while since he's had a game where it's been a breakout performance from 3 like that. But I thought our guys did a good job creating good looks for him, and he was ready.
Well, you keep doing it with your offense, Coach. I know that gives you some momentum for the second half of the Big East play. Congratulations again. All right, Jeff, we'll take it back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Lavelle. Thanks to Shaka Smart as well. Very impressive victory today as Marquette hammers DePaul here in Chicago. For Lavelle Jordan, our entire crew, I'm Jeff Levering saying so long. For now, let's send it back to Los Angeles for